searched the luggage on board the private jet that he was on.
These startling pictures here, obtained by TMZ, show why federal authorities were taking a closer look at the flight. 70 pounds of cannabis found inside 41 vacuum-sealed bags. In addition to the cannabis, authorities also discovered 6 prescription bottles of liquid codeine, 3 firearms, and metal-piercing bullets.
And in another cryptic tweet he shared just last week, Juice wrote, quote, "This life is yours. Do what the F you want to do. Great things and change the world. Don't let no one tell you shit. And you'll be bigger than Juice WRLD will ever be, and he's going down as a legend."
You know.
You think he wanted to die?
I do. I listen to all the music, man. And that's, he said it in over 20-some songs. Over 30 songs he said he wanted to die. And he freestyle. He don't write. He don't even take 5 seconds off to think about what he finna say. He just go straight. So I think that's how he felt.
He was so good at articulating his thoughts and feelings. We ain't really even like realized that that's the way he feeling, cause it's turned into so much beautiful art. He created something so precious with it. It was hard to like separate the two. You know what I'm saying? Like, even for him, that's what he loved to do. He loved to do everything that he did in life. He loved to record. He loved to sit in the studio. He loved to stay up late. He loved to eat pizza. He loved to get high. Like, that's what he loved to do. You feel me? And I love to do it right with him. To be honest, like, when I'm having a good day, I used to drink lean, smoke weed, and pop pills. When I'm having a bad day, I used to drink lean, smoke weed, and pop pills. So it's hard to, you know what I'm saying, separate it. I don't know what we doing it for, we just doing it.
The idea of no longer being on this earth anymore is such a, it's very simple, but it's also very complex. And I think the thought of it is easy to process, but the reality of it isn't so easy to process. And I think that's something that, you know, that Juice was experiencing. He knew anyone in that position knows the results of what these things could be, but no one really processes what that actually means. And no one ever thinks that's actually gonna happen. You know, and I'm talking about Juice himself. He got caught up in something that he didn't know the power of.
Well, we ain't thinking about.
See, that's what I wonder though. Cause like, I feel like he did know the power of it. I feel like, I guess I could understand what Cole is saying, because I think he got to a point in his addiction where the ramifications of what he was doing became much more maybe unclear than they would have been if he, you know, hadn't been as far along in his addiction. But at the same time, when it comes to Juice, I always say, and I probably sound like a broken record over and over again, saying that I feel like he was so in tune with himself and his purpose here, that he knew he was going to come do big things and he was going to leave this earth early. Like, I just feel that so deeply in my entire being, that Juice WRLD knew. He knew he was going to leave a legacy. He knew he was going to have a legendary life, but it was not going to be the full length of time. And I guess I just have like a thought, a question for you guys who believe in heaven. Your idea of it, what is it? Do you guys think that heaven is a place that is different for each one of us? Like, when we pass away, our heaven is basically like what we wanted out of life, our idea of heaven, you know what I mean? Because people who have passed away and then came back, for example, like people who have died on the table and come back and they see glimpses of heaven, certain people see certain things everyone I feel like sees like the same few things, but it's not all the same. Some people see a white light. Some people say they see Jesus. Some people say they see, you know, children or just beauty. You know what I mean? Do you think heaven, if you believe in heaven, is your personal heaven? What heaven would be like for you? It's like your peace. Because I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if Juice WRLD knew that he was going to have an extraordinary life, and he was content leaving it behind because what he was going to have later on was going to be just as good. I don't know. I don't really know. Because obviously he was battling with a lot, you know. I don't know if heaven was even a concept that he believed in. I guess it's just I just wonder what your guys' perceptions on heaven and everything are, because I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual, faithful person. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus. I just don't necessarily believe in the constraints of a, you know, certain domination within the church. You know, like I guess I'm just a less traditional person when it comes to that, but I am very spiritual. I believe in heaven personally, but I don't really know if I believe we have our own personal heaven, you know, like where we see our family, our friends, or where we see everything that we wanted out of life is what we have, or if it's all of us end up in the same big somewhere above the sky, you know, like I don't know. And I won't know until I get there one day, but I am curious.
The drugs we taking, we just taking them. We ain't thinking twice about that shit. We coming up from nothing. This some shit we done, what we was doing back when we was fucked up and broke just to maintain. It's like you get some money, that don't mean your problems go away. So we still on the same shit, we just got more money to do it. So now you doing that shit at a higher rate.
I think he was having a tough time with just like the whole mix, how everything hit him all at once. Cause like once you start getting so much money, you could start doing so many things, and so many things start coming at you at one time, you feel me? So it's like, how do you even know how to control some shit like that? You know what I mean? So it's like, it really it goes deep, you feel me? It gets deep. The abyss goes crazy, G. Really and truly. Something that me and Juice talked about. We both. It's funny too, cause me and Juice came to this terminology just by chopping it up with each other one day and just talking about how just like how depression can go, you know what I mean, and how sad things could be, and how like far you could fall into that pit, you know, that abyss of darkness, and like. Just it's hard to explain. Like demons at play, basically, bro. The world is crazy, and really and truly, when you're in that mindset of the abyss, it's like everything hits you harder. Like
that's what he would say. He's like, I feel just detached, and I'm like, so you don't understand, like, you know, that you're like this idol and like all this, and like you don't see all that. And he's like, nah, I do, but I feel like sometimes I can't feel it, and I can't, like, it's not really there.
We started talking about this thing that we both have. It's called depersonalization. And we just started talking, you know, because I had never, before Juice talking about it, I didn't know what that was. And my whole life, I used to tell my family, like, yo, I don't feel real. Like, I feel like fake, da-da-da. And they used to, my family, they dumbass used to be like, oh, like what, like this moment is too good to be true? I'm like, no, it's not that at all. It's like, I literally don't feel real. So talking to him about it was kind of like a relief in a way. Or like, you know, just talking to somebody who understands you and understands.
And honestly, I feel like that is such like a normal thing to feel. You know, like I understand he's explaining it, you know, his family didn't understand it. But I feel like I have had those thoughts. Where like, you know, I know it sounds like, oh, there's so many different avenues you can go, and you know, people like to think that you're crazy and trippy for wondering if we're all in a fucking simulation, but like sometimes I do wonder, right, when common sense is not so common, and I look at people and it's like, sometimes it seems like people are like sheep, and they're just like all operating at the same frequency, and they never go any higher. And the people who do are like deemed as crazy, or the people who like question the norms of reality of, you know, why are you doing this? Why are you working a 9 to 5? Why are you living to work instead of working to live? Why are you just doing what everyone tells you to do? Why are you just so quick to take in what people tell you you should? You know, like, how do I explain it? Like, for example, like the school system. So many people do terrible in school, and they are some of the smartest people. And yet we have a large group of society that just accepts that this organized education done this way, sitting 8 hours in a classroom, is how it should be done. And people don't question it. And the people who do question it are rebels, or they're a distraction to the class, or, you know, there's always some level of trying to make them the black sheep. When in reality, I feel like those are normal things to feel. Sitting and like being like, what the fuck? Am I really here right now? I've had those. Sometimes I go outside and I look at the world and I'm like, how is this fucking possible? How? You know, like you see like a gorgeous sunset, and you sit and you really, if you really just sit and you look and you take it all in, it's like, is this really real? It's just insane. It's insane to me that very normal things, normal feelings, normal questions, normal thoughts are taken and they're so far out of reach for a lot of people, and it makes you feel insane when what you're feeling is normal. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like everything he's saying is something that a lot of people feel, but they're made to feel like it's wrong, like there is something wrong with them for questioning, or for whatever reason putting doubt into your existence, into wondering why things are the way they are. You know what I mean? It's like, I get when he is talking about how Juice, he knew it was real and he felt it sometimes, but at other times he didn't, because how do you grasp something like that? How do you go from being an average person one day to someone millions and millions and millions of people are idolizing and are, you know, like you just step into this different life? And I think that's what made Juice so wonderful, because I think if he would have fully stepped into that and fully been able to feel it 100% all of the time, I think it would have made him a different person. I think the fact that he appreciated it, but he was detached from it, and that's what made him so pure and genuine. That's what made his music so authentic, because he never let himself get, I hate to say, taken into the abyss, but he never let himself be, you know what I mean, completely wrapped up in it. I digress.
What you're going through.
And see, I didn't really understand his music because it wasn't really for me. So I didn't understand, you know, what he was saying, but obviously his fans, they did. And there were just so many messages, how he helped them with anxiety and depression. And some even said he stopped them from committing suicide. And I was just overwhelmed. Something about his music just touched the hearts of people. You know, they could just relate to it, and it made them feel better.
One of the strangest days of my life, Juice was supposed to perform, but they turned it into a tribute show. And, you know, I had never been in front of that. There was like 75,000 people, I think. And I went out there, I just pressed play, and I just saw like every single kid singing every word. I don't even think he knew. I don't even think he knew how much he meant to all these kids. I really don't. Because you couldn't know. I didn't even know until and I'm seeing the way these kids crying their eyes out, singing every word. Whether he knew it or not, Juice was a therapist for millions of kids. And gave them songs that could help them cope with being alone, feeling like a loser, feeling depressed, not knowing how to express yourself, and he was really like a voice of that generation.
Everybody just wait! I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love and I hate you, and I cannot change you, so I must replace you. Oh, easier said than done. I thought you were the one listening to my heart instead of my head. You found another one, but I am the better one. I won't let you forget me. I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love and I hate you, and I cannot.
You think Juice will get as big as he did?
Me, I always thought that. I think I was probably the only one. I don't even think Juice thought that. I always knew. When I heard as soon as I heard Lucid Dreams, I'm like, we don't gotta do, that song it was different, man. It cut all the extra shit. We skipped steps with that song. You skip, that's one of them songs.
His numbers was crazy as fuck even when he was alive. Keeping up, battling Drake and The Weeknd and shit. This nigga is over here sword battling Drake for numbers and shit, son. That's something serious. For somebody like Juice, come on now, bro. That's crazy as fuck.
Who was basically in the game for 2 years.
Yeah. It was hello. And they started doing crazy streams, Drake number streams. I know out of nowhere, y'all just started liking Juice and was y'all probably don't even know what y'all started liking Juice from. You know what I'm saying? But out of nowhere, Juice WRLD was there, G.
Juice's legacy will be making incredible music that is timeless, being a phenomenal person on and off the stage, in and out of the studio, being a family man, being a lover. That boy's a lover. That boy understands love more than a lot of people. That boy's a lover. I think just being a well-rounded human being. I think it goes beyond the artistry with Juice. I really do. And I think as time goes on, as people appreciate him more and more, because that's what happens, That's how this goes. There's going to be people who are Juice fans who aren't even born yet. That's a beautiful thing. For the rest of my life, for the rest of your life, and for the rest of everyone's life who's watching this right now, every minute of every day, for the rest of all of our lives, someone in the world will be playing a Juice WRLD song. He's here forever, and he's not going anywhere. And that's what a legacy is leaving your music behind and your impact and your message behind for people to adopt and then, lead on with beyond that. And I think that's what Juice's legacy is.
I think something about this whole documentary that is so sad but so beautiful is how so many people speak about Juice in the present. They don't use past tense. It's not Juice was, it's Juice is. And of course, some of them when they're talking in their stories, they say Juice was, but like just listening to Cole talk about him in the present, because that's how alive he still is in everyone's memory, but also alive through his music. It's just something that is so beautiful. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, his death is tragic, but the impact of his music that just goes on and on and on and on and on. You know, like it's almost like sometimes I have those thoughts sometimes where I'm like, I wonder what a world with Juice still in it would look like, but at the same time, sometimes it doesn't feel like we're in a world without him. New music is still being released all of the time because he had so much music, almost like he was prepared, almost like he did know. I don't know, it's just like, it's almost like a mental mind fuck. Because it's crazy, you know, like you guys are always telling me how much unreleased music he has still, that's still being, you know, it's still coming out, this, that, and the other. And I think that's, it's incredible. It's almost though, like he was prepared for his death. That even through his death, he was going to always leave us with more. And we're still getting more years after. And there's still so much more to come, and it's crazy. I can't say that I've seen an artist that has the same impact that Juice has had. I don't know. This documentary has been
Well, in my head, I'm in paradise. I'm actually FaceTiming, not FaceTiming, I'm slow. I'm on Instagram Live from heaven. Huh. I made it, y'all. I'm up here. Boy.
I'll hop in the car with my friends and play my song.
Okay, guys, I have to pause it because YouTube, I'm telling you, YouTube will block this. But that was part 4. The final 40-ish minutes of Juice WRLD Into the Abyss. I know I included some parts that we already watched, but since part 2 and part 3 got blocked and deleted, and I know everyone's not going on Vimeo to watch. By the way, part 2 and part 3 are on Vimeo. I will put them down below free for you guys who want to watch it. YouTube, I cannot re-upload. I tried. It gets instantly deleted. My final thoughts on Juice WRLD Into the Abyss. It was a great documentary. I love documentaries, first of all. This one, I think it was actually the perfect one for me to end with because I started with the first Juice WRLD doc. God forbid, I can't remember the name, but I'll put it up here. That was the perfect introduction because it gave me all of the foundation, and this, I think, gave me a wider scope. And at first I thought, you know, I'm not really sure. It looks like it's just like a lot of his concerts and like I wasn't feeling depth. But I see now that they were building up, they were leading into that. And I think the overwhelming thought that I'm left with is how vibrant Juice still is and always will be. His memory is more like, it's crazy because it's not even like a memory. Legacy truly is the correct word because it's not past tense. It's something that grows still to this day. I mean, look at me. I started this channel not even as a reaction channel. I don't plan on being a reaction channel. This is just supposed to be a segment of my YouTube channel, right? But it has led me to starting to listen to Juice WRLD music, which I never had any interest in, to be honest. I truly never did. I never understood the hype. I never got into it. I never really cared enough. I knew like a few songs here and there, you know, his really big songs. I knew Flaws and Sins. I knew Lucid Dreams, you know, All Girls Are the Same. Those were the songs I knew, but I didn't follow him religiously. And now here I am, discovering more of his music all of the time. You guys are always recommending him to me. And I think that is such a beautiful thing. The fact that you guys, as his fans, keep his memory alive, but also the fact that just who he was keeps it alive himself. I don't know, it's like you can't, it's so hard to to articulate what I'm trying to say. Sometimes, guys, I feel like reactions are difficult for me, not because I don't have anything to say, but because I don't script anything. So sometimes it's just like a jumbled up mess of thoughts, you know? And I try to give you guys my most genuine, authentic thoughts. But what goes on up in here, it doesn't always come out perfectly. Thank you to all of you who recommended Juice WRLD Into the Abyss. This was a beautiful documentary. I loved it. I think, looking back on it, I think I was a little harder on Ally than I should have been. So I will say, from beginning to end, that is one thought that I think has changed. I don't hate Ally. I think I need to do more research. I think Juice loved her, and I think she loved him. And I think she carries a weight on her heart forever that I don't think anyone could ever understand. Because yes, everyone around him lost him as well, but she was the person that he was in love with, and she was in love with him. And that's something that it's just not the same. It hurts deep for everyone in different ways, but that's personally a pain I don't know if I would ever be able to get past. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you guys. I'm gonna make sure I leave part 2 and part 3 down below on Vimeo. Cross our fingers. So far, part 1 is up. It stayed up. No copyright, nothing. We're good. I love you guys so much, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.